If you are suffering with addictions, or you or someone that you care about has lost someone that they love due to an overdose, listen to this message. Hello, my name is Jacqueline Bamanek with Vibrational Energy Solutions. I'm here today to share a public service announcement for those suffering with addiction and to bring awareness to the opioid crisis that we are seeing throughout the world that's causing overdoses and the loss of people that we love in our life. I work the front lines in Los Angeles, helping those that are suffering with addictions, being a frontline support person for people that are trying to reclaim their lives, going through recovery. I worked with a nonprofit there, and in that process, I had the beautiful gift of connecting with some amazing individuals. People that were so precious, so worthy of love. Sometimes it's the most lovable people that have been taught to people please and conform and lose themselves so much, that have endured so much suffering, sometimes because of emotional, physical, sometimes sexual abuse. But usually there's some trauma that's inside of the body that causes them to suffer and want to numb the pain. You could be a family member that feels like you've done all the right things. You've given them love throughout their life, and you can't understand. Why are they addicted to drugs? Why can't they battle this? If it's a battle and you're continuing to look specifically at the drugs, the drugs are their friend. The drugs are there for them. A perceived being there for them. But it's not the truth. The truth is, they've lost sense of themselves. They've lost sense of their self-worth. They're looking for love, validation, safety, approval outside of themselves. But they found people that reflected to them that they weren't worthy, that they didn't matter. Because the journey of coming home to their heart is helping them to know that they have to give that to themselves. Know that they are worthy, that they matter, that be that source of love, validation, approval. Often we look for it outside of ourselves in all the wrong places. And some of those places are inside of a bottle of alcohol, a bottle of pills, a syringe, a crack pipe, a joint, a vape. And it seems to bring us a sense of calm, to numb the suffering, even temporary. It seems like a reprieve from life, because life seems unbearable. Or sometimes it's for recreation use. Sometimes it's for spiritual use. Sometimes it's thinking that you're getting shrooms or marijuana or MDMA, some form of something that you feel is going to lift you into an elevated sense of consciousness. But you never know unless you actually grew the plant. You don't know unless you can trust where it came from, that doesn't have fentanyl in it. Because a lot of drug dealers will add cheap fentanyl to give you a quick high, because they feel like it will get you coming back for more, it will get you addicted. And a lot of people do get addicted. They get addicted to the high, they get addicted to the numbing effect, to the high, euphoria. feeling the sense of not being embodied because it's so painful to be in the body, whether it's physical, mental, emotional pain. So I want to share with you today this drug, naloxone, Narcan. It has a generic that you can get over the counter. It is something that you can actually get online and have it mailed direct to you. There are organizations that will actually send it to you free of charge. I want you to know how to use this. Should someone that you love, you encounter them unconscious from a drug overdose. And this is not harmful. If you experience somebody that you are unsure if it is a drug overdose, but they are unresponsive, you can try this. It will block the opioid receptors in the central nervous system. It is temporary. So what you want to do is there's a plunger on the bottom. You put it into one nostril and let the whole dosage go into the nostril. And you call 911 right away. You wait 2 to 3 minutes. If they're still unresponsive, you'll need a second one of these. And you put this second dose in the other nostril. You wait 2 to 3 minutes. If they're still unresponsive, it could take a third dose. So that would mean you need 3 packages of this. There's 1 dose per package. And it can take sometimes 4 doses to bring somebody back. This has saved lives of people I know, people that I care about, people that I love. Ladies that were living in the sober living house that I managed. Ladies that I got to know deeply their story. Heartbreaking stories. Sometimes there's sexual abuse and rape. Sometimes there's physical abuse. Sometimes there's parental abuse where they don't feel loved. They don't feel like they matter. Sometimes the parents were addicted to drugs and it's all they've ever known. I came home from Los Angeles. I wasn't even home 2 weeks. And to the small town in Wisconsin. And right across the river in Winona, Minnesota, one of my childhood friends, her son just overdosed and died. There is no amount of love in the world that will replace your child if they're gone, or your spouse, or your mother, or father, or aunt, or uncle, or nephew, or niece. You don't want to live with the regret of not being there. And sometimes there's nothing that you could have done. Because if it was their time, it was their time. And we need to trust that everything happens exactly how it's meant to, because there's no solace in living with regrets. There's no peace when you have regrets in your heart. And it's so painful to watch people suffer through addiction and to see other people suffering because they've lost somebody. So my heart, my love, my prayers are with you if you've lost somebody that you love. If you are somebody that's suffering with addiction, find a 12-step program if that resonates with you. Find a trauma-informed therapist or counselor or coach. Find someone who's healthy that you can talk to. Find someone that you can resonate with, that you can share your story with, so you can help yourself to heal. So that you can reprogram your mind. You can reprogram your mind and your body and your heart. It can be done. And so often in the recovery process, I saw so many people relapse. Because that old story, remember when we were young, I don't know if you do or not, but there was a cartoon, there was a little devil on one shoulder and a little angel on the other, and the little devil would be telling you to do this and do that, and you knew it wasn't healthy, or you knew it'd get you in trouble. But you listened to that voice and you just did it anyway. And that little voice on the other side, that little angel, was trying to tell you, please don't do that, please don't do that. I love you. But unfortunately, sometimes I always told the ladies that there was a battle going on between light and dark. And sometimes they'd just be walking home from the store, and they'd encounter a homeless person, and that homeless person would say, "You want to smoke some crack?" And they would say, "Yeah." And sometimes they did it. Sometimes they got put into compromised positions because they did it. I had you know what? I had situations that were very scary, life-threatening situations. Situations where there was the potential for sex trafficking and losing somebody permanently. And that could have happened had I not been diligent on my watch. Because when my girls weren't showing up, I was right on them, and I was, "Where are you? Send me your location right now. I'm coming to get you." And in a couple situations, I know I saved a life. Sometimes we don't have anybody to call. Sometimes we don't have someone that has our back like that. Sometimes we don't know that we put ourselves into a compromised situation until we're in it. Your safety, your well-being needs to be your number one priority. I hope you are hearing me. You are worthy of love. You matter. If you suffer from addiction, find a trauma-informed therapist and find out why. Why is this suffering there, and what are you trying to numb? What have you not been willing to feel? What armor have you put on to cover up? What masks and conforming and chameleoning have you had to do to create safety in your environment? How have you not been able to be yourself? Who are you? What do you want? What do you truly want? What is the vision for your life? You need to have a vision. You need to have a why. So again, you will want to get this in your medicine cabinet. If you have an addiction, have it in your purse. Have it in your bag. Keep it on your person. It might allow somebody to help you save your life. It might help you to save somebody else's life. I've had instances where I have tried to numb out when I didn't want to feel, when I was going through hard, difficult times with a divorce, losing somebody that I loved, trying to find the answer to calming my suffering in a bottle, whether it was alcohol, I wouldn't consider myself an addict, but I've turned to different substances in different times. I've done shrooms, I've done MDMA, I've done marijuana, usually because I wanted to have more of a spiritual experience. But in this day and age, you can't trust what you're buying if you're buying it on the streets. Don't buy drugs on the streets. Just don't do it. Fentanyl gets laced in so many different products. We are facing an epidemic, but let's turn it into an epidemic of love, where we show up unwavering in love, in the space of love, in the space for grace, the space of grace. Let's show up having compassion in our hearts, knowing that people are suffering. This world is not a kind world sometimes. I was raped when I was 16, 17, somewhere in there. I never told anybody when it happened because I was afraid they were going to tell me I deserved it for wearing too much makeup or wearing a short skirt. And the funny thing was, it happened in a recovery house, in a halfway house in Goodview, Minnesota. I went with a friend to an AA meeting because she was court ordered. And I met someone there because there was a party. It was like a teen party, getting to know everybody, and was invited to go watch a movie. And, I'm just sharing this just because it might be relatable to somebody. Because so many people have experienced sexual trauma, rape, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, narcissistic abuse. They got gaslighting, abandonment. There's lots of reasons that people turn to calm the suffering. What I turn to now is I turn to my breath. It's the first thing I experienced in this world, and it's going to be the last thing I receive in this world is my last breath. And we can access so many things through our breath. I'm a Soma IQ breathwork practitioner for somatic release breathwork. Somatic meaning being in the body. We need to feel it, to heal it, to take the armor off, to finally let what's been pushed down and suppressed to come up and out. That's why it's called respiration, to re-spirit ourselves. I used to look for shrooms and pot, MDMA to give me that experience, feeling that elevated state of consciousness, but you can actually access that through your breath. You don't need drugs. And then you get to feel it in order to heal it. There are solutions out there. There's plenty of even YouTube as a reference for trauma release exercises. You can follow tons of coaches online, whether it's breath work, whether it's exercise and movement that helps you to move, or different movements like dance, somatic dance. There's all kinds of different avenues to get back in your body, because so often we're trying to escape the body. We're not honoring the body. And this is an opportunity to get back to you. So I'm Jacqueline Bamanek with Vibrational Energy Solutions. Again, if you or someone you love suffers from addiction, naloxone, Narcan, or the generic equivalent you can get at your local drugstore, over the counter, or order it online for free. Get yourself at least 4 packs. Keep it on you, or keep it where you know someone that may have a drug problem, may need it. Love the people, don't shame them. Be non-judgmental. And if you're living with the loss of someone that you love, don't live with regrets. Remember their smiles. Remember the moments that made your heart warm with the memories. Because they're always going to be a part of you. They're always going to be a part of your life. You can't just pretend to forget. Sometimes closure is the best thing that you can give yourself. To release the regret, forgive yourself. Love yourself. You matter. You're here now. You are here now. You matter. You are lovable and you are loved. And give yourself that approval, that love, that validation, so that you can receive it from other people. I'm Jacqueline with Vibrational Energy Solutions. From my heart to yours, sending you love, prayers, and strength to take one more step forward, whatever that step looks like today. Maybe it's looking into your eyes in the mirror and reaffirming, I love you. Look into your eyes, pierce the veil of your soul. That's why they say the eyes are the windows of the soul. Look into your eyes and say, I love you, until you can feel it, until you can really feel it. The first time I felt it, I started bawling like a baby. And in my breath work, sometimes I still cry, sometimes I still scream, because there's still stuff that's bubbling up and out. And a lot of times it's because I'm highly empathic and sensitive and I'm picking up on the world around me. And it's not mine to carry. You are responsible for your feelings, your words, your thoughts, your actions. But you're not responsible for other people's thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. Remember that. Because so often, especially if you're codependent, especially if you're highly empathic and that's how you created safety in your life, was to feel what everybody else was feeling so you could make sure everybody was safe and okay. But inside you were dying. We can get through this together. You're not alone. Please comment if something that I've said has impacted your heart today. Please share this with somebody that you love that might be battling addiction or maybe lost someone due to an overdose or addiction. Let them know they're not alone, that they matter, and that you care, and that you see them, and that you love them. It might be the most important thing that you do. All right, bye for now. Let's all come home to our heart and help walk each other home.